You ever look outside and think, yeah, this looks like the start of a disaster movie? That was the vibe in Milwaukee last night. Out of nowhere, skies opened up, storms rolled in, and within hours, streets, rivers, and backyards were underwater. The National Weather Service issued multiple warnings, and not just your regular bring an umbrella kind. We're talking flash flood and severe thunderstorm alerts for Milwaukee and Waukesha counties, with winds, hail, and dangerous runoff flooding homes and highways. This wasn't just another summer storm. This one hit hard, fast, and left a lot of people scrambling for safety. Let's break down what went down. First, the National Weather Service, NWS, put out a flood watch for several southeastern Wisconsin counties: Milwaukee, Waukesha, Kenosha, Racine, Ozaukee, and Walworth, warning that heavy rain could lead to dangerous flooding. Then came the real kicker: a flash flood warning for Milwaukee and parts of Waukesha that lasted until 2 a.m. Saturday. By 1:38 a.m., radar showed 1 to 3 inches of rain had already dumped across the region, and another 1.5 to 3 inches was expected. Thunderstorms were pounding the area, and flooding was not just possible. It was. Let's break down what went down. First, the National Weather Service, NWS, put out a flood watch for several southeastern Wisconsin counties: Milwaukee, Waukesha, Kenosha, Racine, Ozaukee, and Walworth, warning that heavy rain could lead to dangerous flooding. Then came the real kicker: a flash flood warning for Milwaukee and parts of Waukesha that lasted until 2 a.m. Saturday. By 1:38 a.m., radar showed 1 to 3 inches of rain had already dumped across the region, and another 1.5 to 3 inches was expected. Thunderstorms were pounding the area, and flooding was not just possible. It was happening. A storm didn't just flood streets. It shut down major events. The Wisconsin State Fair was forced to close early due to lightning and extreme weather. Thousands were attending when the announcement was made, and people had to leave fast. The fairgrounds are no stranger to summer rain, but this time, it was different. The storm intensity made it unsafe to continue. That early closure probably saved lives. It's another reminder of how quickly summer fun can turn into a safety emergency in just minutes. At around 2:45 a.m., the NWS added another layer of urgency, issuing a flood warning for the Kinnickinnic River in Milwaukee. At that point, flooding was either already happening or was imminent. The river levels were rising fast. Doppler radar and rain gauges showed heavy rainfall continuing over the same areas, pushing local waterways well above flood stage. People living near these rivers were urged to stay alert and be ready to move quickly if evacuations were needed. Flash flooding can go from nothing to disaster in under an hour. The Menominee River also made headlines, with levels spiking to 11 feet in Wauwatosa. That's 3 feet over its usual banks, which meant nearby lowlands were underwater. This wasn't minor pooling. It was enough to cause damage to surrounding property. In Menominee Falls, the same river was recorded at 7.6 feet, also above flood stage. Residents near these rivers are dealing with soaked basements, submerged backyards, and rising anxiety. When rivers rise that fast, even homes on higher ground can suddenly be at risk. And it didn't stop there. Flash flood warnings were extended to Ozaukee and Washington counties around 1:40 a.m., with alerts lasting through 5:30 a.m. The storms weren't letting up. These areas experienced intense rain with similar results: creeks turning violent and roads disappearing under rushing water. As the system moved north, local officials continued urging people to stay off the roads and keep an eye on emergency updates. The overnight hours were especially dangerous since it's harder to see high water in the dark. That's when most flood rescues happen, and they're almost always avoidable. Even more concerning was the situation in Waukesha's Frame Park. The Fox River was recorded 7 feet above its banks, with water flooding parts of the park and nearby neighborhoods. Reports say water levels reached 2 to 3 feet deep in some residential areas, including parts of Bethesda Court, where yards and possibly basements were inundated. That's not just a nuisance. That's major water damage, with long cleanups ahead. When water invades homes like that, it's not just about pumping it out. It's mold, electrical damage, and insurance battles for weeks or months to come. These extreme weather events are a growing concern. We're seeing more 100-year floods happening every few years. While it's too early to call this one historic, it's certainly part of a pattern. Southeastern Wisconsin has experienced multiple heavy rain events over the past few summers. Drainage systems in many parts of Milwaukee and surrounding counties just aren't designed for this kind of rapid, high-volume runoff. When rainfall exceeds 2 to 3 inches per hour, even the best infrastructure can't keep up. The result? Flooded streets, stranded cars, and flooded basements. So, what can people do now? First, avoid all floodwaters, especially moving water. 6 inches of water can knock over an adult, and a foot of water can carry away a car. Next, stay informed. Make sure alerts are turned on for your local weather app. And if you live near a flood-prone area, sign up for local emergency notifications. It's also a good idea to check your sump pump, clear out gutters, and secure any outdoor furniture. Preparation can't stop a flood, but it can reduce the damage. Every bit of prevention counts when the next storm rolls in. City officials and emergency services are monitoring river levels closely and have not issued widespread evacuation orders yet. But residents in low-lying areas are being told to stay alert and be ready to move if things worsen. Shelters are on standby, and damage assessment teams will begin work as soon as it's safe. In the meantime, the public is being advised to avoid unnecessary travel, check on neighbors, especially elderly residents, and report any downed power lines or blocked drains. Community response is vital during and after storms like these. By Monday morning, the rain is expected to ease up, but flood risks won't go away immediately. Water may take days to recede in some neighborhoods, especially near rivers and streams. As cleanup begins, officials are warning people not to return to flooded areas too soon. Stay away from downed wires, contaminated water, and unstable ground, and be cautious of scams. Unfortunately, post-disaster areas often attract unlicensed contractors and fake relief offers. Stick with official channels, and when in doubt, verify everything before you sign or pay for anything. This weekend's flash flood event is a stark reminder of how quickly nature can disrupt everyday life. Milwaukee and surrounding counties are still under flood watch until Monday morning. Keep an eye on updates from the National Weather Service and your local authorities. If you're in a flood-prone area, stay alert and take warnings seriously. These storms aren't just dramatic, they're dangerous. We'll continue tracking the situation and bring you updates as they happen. Stay safe out there, Wisconsin. And remember, when water rises, time matters. Be ready, stay dry, and take care. It's happening.